Hello everyone, back to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. For today's second video, this takes us to around the 25th of June. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended ECM ensembles and also the GFS. They run around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 for the next month as well. That takes us, of course, into July. The weekend forecast has been released. So it's going to be a better week. It's not going to be as wet, but it will still be quite unsettled at times. There's going to be showers on most days. And around the middle part of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could turn it very warm, very just briefly in the southeast, and that might bring on some thunder. Have a look at weekend forecast and see what's going on there. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to say a big thank you to our latest patron. So, Anthony Jones has become Galsworthy's 61st patron. We've got 61 patrons now, and our 61st patron is Anthony Jones. So, a big thank you to Anthony for becoming our 61st patron. Thank you so much, Anthony, for doing that. Now, if you'd like to become a patron for Galsworthy's, then all you need to do is come to the Galsworthy's Patreon page. I'm on that page right now. Just come to the Galsworthy's Patreon page. You sign up for a Patreon account, and then you can give an ongoing monthly donation to Galsworthy's. You will pool in with the rest of the patrons, and that's how you become an official patron for Galsworthy's.com. And a big thank you to all of our patrons, all 61 of you. Thank you so much for doing that. There is also PayPal, so if you would like to give a donation through PayPal, all you need to do is come to the Galsworthy's PayPal page, sign into your PayPal account very simply, and then you give a donation of however much you want to Galsworthy's. And you're helping us to fund the website, you're helping us to keep content online. So a big thank you to all of our PayPal donors as well. Big thank you to all of our patrons, and special thank you to patron 61, Anthony Jones. Thank you so much for doing that. Right, so we're going to start off by having a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts from Penn State University. Now, we've got a bit of a problem here because we have only got the ECMWF on the top. We haven't got, today, the GFS on the bottom. Now, the GFS has had a big upgrade over the past few days, and that's created problems with several websites that we use in the videos, because they sort of harvest the raw data from the GFS for their data. So what we're doing with the Penn State University charts is we're looking at the 500 millibar height anomalies over the 7 to 10 day time frame, and that's based on the ECMWF. We've got that, you can see it just there. It's also based on the GFS, and you see that in the space where there should be a 500 millibar height anomaly, we don't have anything. So obviously something's gone wrong there, and I think it's purely the fact that the model has been upgraded, and these websites have got to adjust their sort of websites to harvest that data from the new versions of the model. You see what I mean? So they'll get it sorted out, but it just takes a little while. There's always a bit of a transitional period where you tend to get problems that are going to be ironed out on a lot of these websites, but they'll get things sorted out in due course. For the time being, though, we have only got the ECMWF on the top. Here it is. This is a 500 millibar height anomaly flowchart for the 7 to 10 day time frame, taking us to the 25th of June from the ECMWF. We have an area of above average height sitting to our east. High pressure is to our east across many central and eastern parts of Europe. Below average heights, low pressure is in the Atlantic. So the jet stream is going across the Atlantic a little bit like this, and then running into the north of the UK. So we're somewhere between high pressure and low pressure there. Could be a little bit mixed, could be a little bit showery, but what it will probably be doing is bringing up some quite warm air, maybe even very warm air, or hot air even from the south temporarily. But of course, with the low pressure out in the Atlantic, that's going to provide the energy quite quickly to push that warmth away. and turn us cooler and more unsettled. But nevertheless, that could be the suggestion of something a little bit warmer there as we go into the end of the third week and into the start of the fourth week of June, perhaps. As I say, we can't see the GFS, see how that compares, but we can see the GFS ensembles. We're looking at Derby in the North Midlands today. So the red line here is the 30-year other air temperature average for Derby. We're starting off a little bit on the cool side at the moment. Temperatures will be lifting up a bit, though. As we go into next week, we're going to have a warmer day or so around Tuesday, Wednesday. That could, though, be associated with some thunder. After that, temperatures cool down through the second half of next week. And then beyond that, really, it looks like we're quite close to average. But occasionally there are some warmer episodes. For example, just here, around the 25th of June. Again, looks like we might pull up some warmth. Again, quite temporarily, though. And then to a very extended range, generally quite close to average. Precipitation-wise, it does look mixed, I have to say. There are still precipitation spikes coming through. A lot of this is sort of showery conditions rather than the deluge rain that we've had lately. But it still looks a little bit on the changeable side. These precipitation spikes just here, by the way, quite big precipitation spikes associated with this lift up in the temperature. That could well be thunderstorms breaking out sometime around the middle of the week. And then again, possibly around the 25th, you'll notice as we get that little push up in the temperature there, the precipitation spikes are increasing a little bit again, just there. So once more, that could be another thundery outbreak, which is highlighted by the ECMWF from Penn State University, the 500 milliwatt height anomaly from the ECM. Around day 10, which is the 25th of June. So, might have a couple of brief plumes actually coming up in the next 10 days. But if we do, then I think very quickly that could start to allow thunder to begin to break out. Temperature anomalies from the 15th to the 23rd of June are generally still a little bit on the cooler than average side for the UK and Ireland. I had expected these to warm up a little bit more than this by now, but it looks like we're keeping those temperature anomalies stubbornly a bit below average from the 15th to the 23rd of June. Precipitation anomalies from the 15th to the 23rd of June, quite close to average, bit above average in the north, near normal further south. We've certainly lost the flooding rains for now. Anyway, we've lost the flooding rains that we had over the past few days. But you get the idea that it is still a little bit mixed. It's still a little bit showery, particularly so for northern parts of the country. That's how the GFS looks on Tuesday then, this GFS operational run. Of course, they've got low pressure out to the northwest of Scotland, high pressure is across central parts of Europe, and we are allowing some warmer air to drift up from the south on Tuesday. However, by the time you get through to Wednesday, that already looks like it's generating some sort of thundery low there across northern France. So yes, temperatures might pick up briefly around the middle of the week, might get very warm in the southeast, maybe even locally hot, with temperatures around 28 degrees, somewhere like the middle of London, but expect that to bring thunder very, very quickly. By the time you get through to Thursday, that thundery low is moving away to the east, and we'll bring cooler, fresher conditions back in from off the Atlantic. Into the end next week and next weekend, very shallow sort of ridge or weak ridge builds across the country. It's cooler air mass as well. Wind is coming in from the northwest. Although with the strong June sunshine, not going to feel too bad at all, really. Moving up towards day 10, high pressure develops out to the west of the country on this particular GFS 6 o'clock run. So that's setting things down a little bit. It's turning mainly dry, but of course the wind is in from the north or northeast, so it's not going to be particularly warm, but at least it is settling things down a little bit by Tuesday, 25th of June. And we get quite a nice extension from the Azores high there as we go through to Wednesday, 26th. This is heading up towards Glastonbury period, of course. This particular GFS run, looking quite a lot better for Glastonbury, I have to say. So I know there was a lot of concern about last night's first Glastonbury update, which was really unsettled, one of the most unsettled Glastonbury updates I've ever had to do, actually in all the years that we've been doing these Glastonbury updates all the way back to 2012. But actually, it looks like today the GFS is looking quite a bit better for the Glastonbury period. So we'll do update number 2 for Glastonbury tomorrow. As I said in yesterday's Glastonbury update, don't panic at this stage. It's a very long way out. Hopefully, high pressure will be more influential for this late June period. Moving up to the end of this particular GFS run, that's how you look. Everything's rather slack, relatively warm. There might be some heavy showers breaking out there, though, on Monday the 1st of July. This is the GEM, the Canadian model, looking like that. Again, quite a warm push of air from the south on Tuesday, with low pressure heading away towards the north of Scotland. However, by Wednesday, we're already developing a thundery low there over top of England and Wales, so heavy showers or storms could start trundling up from the south quite quickly through the middle of next week. Into the second half of next week, that thundery low clears away. Turn the wind back into a cooler, more showery northwesterly type wind direction. So temperatures lower into the second half of next week. Into next weekend, not looking too bad, under a slight sort of flabby ridge there as we go into next weekend. Could bring a reasonable amount of dry weather. Then by the time you get through to Monday the 24th of June, the GM is developing this low pressure down to the southwest of us. That does allow another push of quite warm air to move up from the south, maybe quite hot air. But by the time you get through to day 10, which is Tuesday 25th of June, again, we're breaking that down really quickly as this low is getting closer to the southwest of England. That looks like a classic thundery scenario, I have to say. Temperatures will probably be into the up to the upper 20s in the southeast, but I think it could well be bringing big showers and thunderstorms there with the GEM at day 10. This is ECMWF. Again, we've got this idea that around the middle of the week it's turning briefly a little bit warmer, but a thundery low is quickly developing within that warmth across England and Wales by Wednesday. So expect showers and storms to be increasing Tuesday through to Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, that thundery low gets out of the way. We're into a cooler, fresher and more showery west or northwesterly flow. Next weekend, then, we generate another bit of a ridge across the country, so that settles things down again next weekend. And we begin to turn back into the south once more, starting to pull some warmer air up from France. But again, it looks very unstable, this. And by the time you get through to day 10, it looks like we're breaking things down into thunder very quickly and pushing any warmth or heat away into the central part of Europe. So temperatures look like they're trying to warm up over the next week to 10 days, but it's all very, very unstable. And as soon as the temperature pushes up, it appears we're generating thundery areas of low pressure. Certainly no signs yet, but we're going into a sustained period of hot and dry weather. These are how the ECM ensembles are looking today from the Icelandic Met Office. This is the option that we've got for day 10, which is the 25th of June, 240 hours away. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, including the operational and control run, have high pressure to the east and south at day 10. Probably some sort of trough of low pressure in the Atlantic, and gradually moving that Atlantic flow into the country. So, yes, the idea is that any sort of warmth and ridge to our east is probably not sustained all that long. In 2 weeks' time, we've got a lot of options on the table. This is the 30th of June, so you have 12 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure sort of out to the west, but also ridging through the UK. Low pressure is pushing off up north, so it looks like they're settling things down actually with those 12. Quite a lot of dry weather with them. 11 with high pressure out to our west, probably low pressure to the north and the east. Jet stream could be doing something a bit like that. They could be a little bit cooler and more showery than you might think from the colours within the anomaly. 11 do look unsettled. They've got a trough of below average heights over the top of the UK. There's a dip in the 500 millibar flow of the jet stream as well. So they're cool and unsettled with those 11. There's 9 with high pressure over and to the south of the country. That's quite a decent option. Sending the jet stream northwards like that. A reasonable amount of dry and warm weather on off with those. And then there's 8 with low pressure in the middle of the Atlantic, high pressure to the south and also to the northeast and the northwest. They could be quite unsettled actually, I think, those 8. Probably more so than you will think again by just looking at the colours. So a range of options on the table for the end of June. Finally, CFS V2 looking like this. These are the 500 millibar height anomalies broken down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 15th to the 21st of June, with below average heights out to the west of the country, above average heights up to the north and the northeast. Looks quite unsettled, nowhere near as unsettled as it has been though, and nowhere near as cool either. The wind is in from the southwest, so it's going to be relatively mild, but it will be a little bit on the showery side in the week ahead. Week 2, which is the 22nd to 28th of June, with above average heights to our east, below average heights to the west. Bit of a strengthening of the Azores high, which you haven't seen much of in recent weeks. That's strengthening a bit to our south. So more of a westerly flow with this, but potentially quite warm. Could be bringing up winds from a southerly to southwesterly direction. But again, all looking quite unstable with that low pressure out to the north and west of the country. Week 3 looks much more unsettled again. This is 29th of June to the 5th of July, with below average heights and almost over the top of the country, trough within the 500 millibar flow. Jet stream doing something like that. Ridges receding into the east of Europe, and the Azores high is weakening too. So that one looks cooler and more unsettled again as we're going into week 3, final days of June and the opening days of July. And then we finish up in week 4, which is the 6th to the 12th of July. Quite weak signals, but overall I think it's probably quite unsettled with this. The ridge of above average heights is pushed back to far northeast of Europe and the west of Russia. And overall there's no other particular ridge in evidence there. So I reckon that could be quite unsettled really. There's probably low pressure through the west of Europe, the jet stream maybe doing something a bit like that. So I think really between the lines that's probably quite unsettled again from the 6th through to the 12th of June. At the moment there's no sign that we're sustaining high pressure for any length of time. So the next week to 10 days is very much have been talked about in the videos over the past few days. It's going to be an improvement on the weather we've had in recent days. We've lost the flooding rains, we've lost the June monsoon, and we've lost those very cold temperatures as well. So improvements, yes, but it's not going to be particularly settled. There will be further showers and a couple of pushes in temperature as well. One around Tuesday, Wednesday, another one possibly around sort of the 24th, 25th of June. We might see the temperature shooting up down in the far south and southeast, getting into the 80s Fahrenheit. But if we do, the evidence here is very much pointing towards this being really unstable heat and not able to last very long at all before thunder breaks it down. So possibly we're going into more thundery sort of second half to June, but we shall see about that, of course. Right, so that's it for your second video for today. We've got a CFS 6-month lookout coming up tonight. That's just for fun, just to have a laugh of it, see what CFS is showing from next month, from July, right way through to the end of the year. Tomorrow we'll have some autumn analogues. We'll have the Glastonbury Study Roundup, and of course, the second update for Glasgow. Hopefully that will be an improvement on last night's update. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.